You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button. Of course, it was the biggest story in the college football world Saturday night. Here's how it sounded when history was made.
It is my great pleasure to announce that the 2023 Heisman Trophy winner is Jayden Daniels from Louisiana State University.
And with that, Jayden Daniels became LSU's third Heisman Trophy winner, joining, of course, the late Dr. Billy Cannon and Joe Burrow. A lot of y'all got concerned after the Maxwell vote. We'll get to that. But in the end, Jayden Daniels outdistanced Michael Penix, who finished second, Bo Nix, who finished third, and then Marvin Harrison Jr., who finished fourth. Those, of course, were the four finalists. Jayden Daniels gave a speech that ran 5 minutes and 55 seconds, thanking his offensive line, the LSU staff, all of his teammates, all the support staff around the building at Football Ops, and his family, and, of course, a special dedication as well.
Being a college athlete and winning this award has been a dream come true. I want to dedicate this award to every boy and girl who has a dream. With faith and hard work, you never know what's possible. They said I was too skinny, so I added weight. They said I relied on my legs a little bit too much. So, I went to work, completed all those passes, had the season I had. So I thank everybody out there. And they said I was too quiet. So, I became more vocal. I stepped out of my comfort zone, and now I'm here today.
He is here as the third Heisman Trophy winner in LSU history. He is here as the 89th award winner. And he is here and immortal. When you win the Heisman Trophy, as it has often been said, that moniker follows you forever. You are forever known as Jayden Daniels, Heisman Trophy winner, and he will be that. And with that, he has secured his legacy at LSU. And we can shift our conversation from if he should win it or why he should win it to, now that he's won it, what it means. And I've made this comparison a few times, and I'm going to make it again. I think it's a lot, because it's apropos and it's something LSU fans will understand. It's a lot like that 2003 national championship. In 2003, that team opened the door to the possibility, to believing it was possible. And since then, we've seen LSU won 3 titles, 03, 07, and 2019. And we often ask the question, which team was the best, or which one do you love the most, and all this sort of stuff. And it's like when you ask a parent which is their favorite child. Some parents play favorites. But the truth is, and if you're a parent and you understand this, you love them all differently and for different reasons, but you love them all the same. 2003, it's like your firstborn. It forever changed your life when you first became a parent. And that can never be replicated or replaced. 2007, it's like your crazy fun kid. All the dramatic endings in that season, Flynn to Bird, the 07 Florida game, it's like the entrepreneur who wasn't great in school, went out, maybe just backpacked across Europe for a couple of years, then found their way, became really entrepreneurial, and you became so proud of them in different ways, in other ways, because of the way they maybe love people or whatever it might be. 2019, that's like your straight-A student, valedictorian, summa cum laude at Harvard, who became the president of the United States of America. Like, that's 2019. But you love all your kids the same for different reasons, and it's true with your Heisman Trophy winners as well. From Dr. Billy Cannon, of course, Cannon's run, the Halloween night run, one of the most famous plays, iconic plays in the history of college football. Joe Burrow for being the first in 60 years who made us believe that was possible and carried us all on that glorious ride in 2019. And Jayden Daniels, who every single time this team needed a play, he made it and generally did so in spectacular fashion. So, and also Jayden winning this so close to Joe Burrow further illustrates all the possibilities that exist when you come to LSU and play football at this program. A few thoughts. Number one, the voters got it right. And I know there were a lot of people after the Maxwell Award was announced on Friday night, and Jayden Daniels didn't win it, Boy, was I inundated. And I was up in New York, all right? But I could hear the groans from Baton Rouge, from a lot of people concerned that Jayden Daniels was not going to win the Heisman Trophy. And I said it over the weekend, and I'll repeat it here. The Maxwell often is not an indicator of who's going to win the Heisman Trophy. We see this happen so often, unfortunately. But we see Maxwell Award winners that don't win the Heisman. The last time it happened was 2018. In 2018, Tua won the Maxwell, Kyler Murray won the Heisman. That was also the last time we had a really close Heisman vote until this year. And you can go through the years, and there were plenty of examples of it. In 2013, A.J. McCarron won the Maxwell Award. Jameis Winston won the Heisman. In 2012, Johnny Manziel won the Heisman. Manti Te'o won the Maxwell. 2011, RG3 won the Heisman. Andrew Luck won the Maxwell. 2009, Mark Ingram won the Heisman. Colt McCoy won the Maxwell. 2008, Sam Bradford won the Heisman. Tim Tebow won the Maxwell. So my point, Brady Quinn, Vince Young, Eli Manning, Larry Johnson, Ken Dorsey, Drew Brees. There's a long list of players that won the Maxwell that did not win the Heisman. And one of the things that we've known now in this era of online sports betting and so many sports books is that if the odds, if a guy like Chris Hudson from Heisman Poll or from Heisman Pundit all those years could take straw polls and accurately predict the winner, you better believe that that sports books are going to be able to find out who the Heisman winner was. So a lot of you were worried. You need not be worried. As Uncle Scone tried to tell you, come sit on my lap. It's going to be fine. I'll tell you a story. It's going to be okay. And the voters ultimately did get it right with Jayden Daniels. Won by the closest margin, though, since we've seen from that Tua and Kyler Murray vote back in 2018. I also think when you see this, there's no reason to think that this will be the last. But I think you also have to learn to appreciate it as if it could be. Do you realize that, and I don't mean to give an Alabama example because this might not sit well considering the audience, but Alabama's a great historic college football program. Until Mark Ingram in 2009, they had never had a Heisman winner. Mark Ingram in 2009 was Alabama's first ever Heisman winner. They have since had 4. Ingram, Derrick Henry, Bryce Young, Devontae Smith. They've had 4 Heisman Trophy winners now. I could look at other programs. Steve Spurrier won a Heisman at Florida in 1966. It took 30 years before Danny Werfel won it in 96. And then 11 years later, Tim Tebow won it. They haven't had one since 2007. So could it be a situation where next year, a couple of years, there's another? Sure. Could it be a decade plus? Yes, which is why you appreciate it. I absolutely believe this helps in recruiting. If you were listening to our show on Friday, we had Justin Vincent with us, of course, former LSU great, now works for the Tiger Athletic Foundation, was on Ed Ogeron's support staff, who talked very openly about every time they had a recruit on campus, they'd open up those trophy cases and make them hold the award. So you better believe you can have a Heisman, a quarterback, a running back, a receiver on campus. You let them hold that Heisman Trophy and think this could be yours. Actually, instead of saying, come be the first to win it in a long time, you can say, look, you can come here and win it. Look at what Joe did. Look at what Jayden has done. So, look, Bryce Underwood's going to make his announcement on January 6th. He's the number 1 player in the country for 2025, a quarterback out of Michigan. I'm not saying this is the reason he'll pick LSU, but if he does, this won't hurt. And it is fair to say, when we all in time look back at this season, we will look back at this season with a giant what if. And that's fair. This is a 9-3 team that had the Heisman Trophy winner, a prolific, historic offense, and they missed out on the chance for a college football playoff and a potential national championship. Wasn't Jayden Daniels' fault. It was the defense. And that's part of the narrative. That is going to be part of the narrative of this team, of the history and how this team in this season is going to be remembered. And that's okay. You can't eliminate that. But it shouldn't cast a shadow over how magnificent Jayden Daniels was this year, which is why he was the one who heard his name called on Saturday night there in New York City. And we will continue to gain context on Jayden Daniels and his place in LSU history. I know people like to do the Mount Rushmore thing, and I'm not so keen on that. But here's what I do know. of the major sports at LSU, that Jayden Daniels is now the 8th National Player of the Year award winner of the major award. You've had 3 Heisman winners: Billy Cannon, Joe Burrow, now Jayden Daniels. In basketball, you've had 2 National Players of the Year: Pete Maravich, Shaquille O'Neal. Baseball, you've had 2 Golden Spikes Award winners: Ben McDonald, now Dylan Cruz. And in women's basketball, you've had 1 National Player of the Year, Simone Augustus. 8 in the history of LSU athletics. There have been other amazing players who have won national awards at their specialty or their position, whatever it may be. Paul Skeens this year, National Pitcher of the Year, did win a few National Player of the Year honors. Dr. Eddie Furness won the Dick Hauser Trophy. But I'm talking about the understood National Player of the Year honor, the highest honor for that respective sport. And this is the list: Billy Cannon, Joe Burrow, Jayden Daniels, Pete Maravich, Shaquille O'Neal, Ben McDonald, Dylan Cruz, Simone Augustus. That's the list. And Jayden Daniels is rightfully on it. Immortality achieved for Jayden Daniels Saturday night in New York City. Congrats to the 89th Heisman Trophy Award winner, Jayden Daniels from LSU. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.